So who's going to be the brand new Prime Minister of the United Kingdom after Boris Johnson has resigned? Is it going to be Ben Wallace? Is it going to be Rishi Sunak? Is it going to be Penny Mordaunt? Now, it looked like all eyes are going to be on Ben Wallace. It looked like Ben Wallace is going to be the main guy. Looks like Ben Wallace is going to be the main guy. He was the 11-4 favorite to be the next conservative leader. And then you had Rishi Sunak at 9-2 odds, and then Penny Mordaunt, who's in the third position at 6-1. Former Secretary Liz Truss, who also didn't resign, is another contender for the 10-1 odds, followed by former Secretary of State for Health and Social Care Sajid Javid, who resigned, and Jeremy Hunt, member of Parliament, 16-1. So that's interesting. The two people that resigned, we were supposed to make a big deal about Rishi Sunak and the Health Secretary, the Finance Minister, Rishi Sunak and Sajid Javid. They had quit in protest over Boris Johnson, and now we're going to pick Rishi Sunak. They're the ones that quit. So no wonder they quit, so they can become the damn Prime Minister. And then it comes back to find out Ben Wallace doesn't want the job. Ben Wallace, he got into politics in 1999 as a member of the Scottish Parliament. He had a military background, and he's the UK's longest-lasting security minister. He also predicted in early February that Russia was likely to invade Ukraine and compared diplomatic efforts to appeasement policies of the 1930s. So Ben Wallace, he justified not quitting this week with the following tweet: "A number of us have an obligation to keep this country safe. And in the meantime, the public would not forgive us if we left these offices of state empty. After careful consideration and discussing with colleagues and family, I have taken the decision not to enter the contest for leadership of the Conservative Party," Mr. Wallace tweeted on Saturday. Well, shit, Ben Wallace. We all thought you was going to be the next Prime Minister. So now it's back to Rishi Sunak or Penny Mordaunt or Jeremy Hunt or that other guy. Let's see, Rishi Sunak or Sajid Javid, Penny Mordaunt, Rishi Sunak, Jeremy Hunt, but not Ben Wallace. Definitely not Ben Wallace. So it's now back to 4 other people. So it's interesting that Ben Wallace had won all of his matchups by a wide margin. So Ben Wallace seems like you could have had the Prime Minister chair. But after careful consideration, Ben Wallace says, I don't want the ball. Want the ball? No, I don't want the ball. I'd rather you have the ball, and then I just say, how come he's dribbling the ball like that? Why is he dribbling the ball like that? You want the ball? No. You keep the ball, and I'll just be a backseat driver. So his withdrawal boosted chance of early frontrunner Rishi Sunak, who announced his candidacy on Friday with a slick campaign video and a promise to make the fairy tale tax cut promises some of his rivals are expected to offer. So that's interesting. Rishi Sunak, he's not going to promise anything. What Rishi Sunak is going to do is not promise things. They're going to promise shit that they can't do, but not Rishi Sunak. Rishi Sunak doesn't. So Rishi Sunak, let's see, speech. Let's listen to who this Rishi Sunak is, huh? TikTok? What is this TikTok?
Let me tell you a story about a young woman almost a lifetime ago who boarded a plane armed with hope for a better life and the love of her family. This young woman came to Britain, where she managed to find a job. But it took her nearly a year to save enough money for her husband and children to follow her. One of those children was my mother, aged 15. My mum studied hard and got the qualifications to become a pharmacist. She met my dad, an NHS GP, and they settled in Southampton. Their story didn't end there.
So I thought it would have been him talking. All right, here's him talking.
The chance of a better future. Do we confront this moment with honesty, seriousness, and determination? Or do we tell ourselves comforting fairy tales that might make us feel better in the moment, but will leave our children worse off tomorrow? Someone has to grip this moment and make the right decisions. That's why I'm standing to be the next leader of the Conservative Party and your Prime Minister. I want to lead this country in the right direction. I ran the toughest department in government during the toughest times when we faced...
Well, he's got a nice video. That's all I really care about when it comes... Liz Truss. So you have Foreign Secretary Liz Truss. You got that Sunak. And then you have, not Ben Wallace. Basically, everybody else but Ben Wallace, right? Sajid Javid, Jeremy Hunt, Penny Mordaunt, Rishi Sunak. But not Ben Wallace. Definitely not maybe Liz Truss. So there was one MP who backed Ben Wallace. Said he picked up a lot of support from the MPs who stayed in the government and were uncomfortable with Mr. Sunak's treachery. So Rishi Sunak, apparently there's a problem with his treachery. Former Equalities Minister Kimi Badenoch became the fourth candidate to throw her hat into the ring, promising tax cuts and declaring her opposition to identity politics. So Liz Truss, Kimi Badenoch, Rishi Sunak, Tom Tugendhat, a moderate from the One Nation wing, Attorney General Suella Braverman, have both picked up several endorsements after launching their campaigns. So Suella Braverman, Tom Tugendhat, Kimi Badenoch, Rishi Sunak, Liz Truss, but not Ben Wallace. Not that goddamn Ben Wallace. So Mr. Sunak came under fire from Johnson loyalists even before the launch, with Brexit Minister Jacob Rees-Mogg denouncing him as a high-tax chancellor who failed to curb inflation. Steve Baker, who's dropped his own ambitions to be leader, backed Attorney General Suella Braverman, claimed Mr. Sunak was in an unfortunate bind as he had to double down on his own economic policy to date. One top number 10 official told the Financial Times that Mr. Sunak was a treacherous bastard. A Johnson loyalist in the cabinet told the newspaper Rishi will get everything he deserves for leading the charge and bringing down the Prime Minister. So, okay, that Rishi Sunak helped bring down the Prime Minister, and then he gets to be the Prime Minister now, right? Is that how that works in UK politics? It's quite incredible that Boris Johnson had the biggest Conservative mandate. A lot of those Conservatives voted Conservative for the first time since 1979, so for 40 years. Millions voted Conservative. He had a major mandate. He only was down a couple points in the polls. So it's kind of crazy how they moved on for Boris Johnson. Boris Johnson, the great communicator. Boris Johnson, I'm going to miss his hair. I'm going to miss his style. He was a great showman. He was very articulate, a great communicator. He was cool and smooth. Prime Minister questions. No U.S. president could survive Prime Minister questions. He says he gave up the best job in the world, but them's the breaks. He gave up the best job in the world, but them's the breaks. Fucking what a cool motherfucker. You need to get out. The herd moves in politics. Nobody is remotely indispensable. He talked about the brilliant and Darwinian system. He's equally committed to this office and country. Boris Johnson modeled himself on Winston Churchill, so the Kyiv walk makes sense. Boris Johnson apparently was born in New York City. Winston Churchill was born here too. So you could be born in America and then run England. Maybe Meghan Markle and Prince Harry will become president of America one day too. Last thing, scandals. So he had a Gavin Newsom scandal. And then he had, not even a Me Too. I mean, Donald Trump had 26 sexual harassment accusers. He got a porn star he paid a porn star hush money. 1 million were killed in Iraq, right? That's Baby Bush. Jeffrey Epstein both had connections to Donald Trump and to Bill Clinton, the Catholics, the Baptists. You got so many scandals on top of scandals in America. But apparently what will kick out a prime minister? Well, if one of your ministers gropes another man, or if you say COVID is bad and tell everybody to wear a mask and then you don't wear a mask. But seriously, Joe Biden said that he was only going to ask us to wear a mask for 6 more months. So what the fuck is going on? Joe Biden said he was only going to ask us to wear a mask for 6 more months. That was 2 fucking years ago. And I thought Larry Elder's California campaign already ended the mask mandates. And apparently it wasn't the Queen who fired him, but the avalanche of resignations. It was the Tory. It was that, that Rishi guy. And then the current president, old Grandpa Grope and Sniff. Old Grandpa Grope and Sniff, he's delivered nothing. And he's driven America in a nice linear path, right? Just like he promised, nothing much has changed. Joe Biden's ran this country like a conservative. And so now what are the Republicans going to do? Put up a fucking psychotic motherfucker? Joe Biden's a right-wing conservative. He changed nothing. But he's, maintaining a steady line. Which, if you're a Republican and you like the way things were, then that means Joe Biden kept the way things were. You fucking piece of shit. He didn't change shit. He's the opposite of Obama. Obama was about change. Joe Biden was about no change. And the Republicans don't know how to fucking deal with this shit. What? The Democrats are being conservative, then that means we got to be liberal? How about let's just be batshit crazy?